According to Allen, the decision to cast Rhys Meyers was an easy one, especially after the actor's starring role in Bend It Like Beckham.
He looked perfect for me. I mean, he just looked gorgeous and correct and sensitive and tortured, and I could tell he was going to be great immediately because the first thing he did before we shot was the voiceover for the tennis ball going over.
The man who said I'd rather be lucky than good saw deeply into life. People are afraid to face how great a part of life is dependent on luck. It's scary to think so much is out of one's control. There are moments in a match when the ball hits the top of the net, and for a split second it can either go forward or fall back. With a little luck, it goes forward.
And I was sitting with my assistant, and we were so stunned at how beautifully he did it. You know, I guess it's because it's a British voice, and you hear, you know, the man who does this, you hear that British intonation, and it, you know, it sounded like what to an American ear is class, aristocracy. Yeah, actually, he's an Irish, you know, poor boy. But to us, it sounded like, you know, he could have been the Prince of Wales, and we knew he was going to be wonderful, and he was.
For Rhys Meyers, who says he still can't believe he's one of the leads in a Woody Allen film, his admiration for the writer-director goes back to his days as a young boy, when he saw Annie Hall for the first time.
I remember I saw it when I was very young, like 7 years old or something, and this is many years after it was shot. I mean, it was shot before I was born. It was released the year I was born. And, you know, I just remember being, you know, even as a small kid, being really attracted to this funny little guy who was on the screen. And, you know, I can distinctly remember him in that, because, you know, he kind of looked like one of our school teachers. Yeah, that look, the big rimmed glasses, and the sort of like wavy hair coming out of the side. And I just remember this guy. He's like, you know, he jumped off the screen. So even when I was a little boy, I always knew who Woody Allen was.
And listen to Rhys Meyers as he describes his first meeting with the man he'd admired for years.
He came in. He said, "Hi, I'm Woody Allen. You know, I'm making a movie in London, and I'm going to present you with a script if you like the material. I don't do much rehearsal, so let's work." Hands me the script. I say, "Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Allen." I get out of there before I put my foot in my mouth and lose the job. And then I get outside and I ring my agent, and I'm so excited. I'm like, he's just offered me the movie.
But as excited as he was to be working with Allen, Rhys Meyers admits he got a bit nervous on the first day of shooting.
I went up to Woody, and I was really honest with him, and I said, "You know, Woody, I'm really nervous." And he was like, yeah, and he goes, "Jonathan, you don't really need to be nervous. Like, you're 80% the character when you wake up in the morning. He said, you just got to bring 20% to work, fill in the dots." You know, and then I realized that, you know, he hasn't cast me because, you know, he doesn't cast actors that he's going to spend 3 hours of the day talking them through a scene, because he'd just get bored and he'd lose interest. If he casts you in a movie, you deserve to be there because you're good at what you do. And you can trust him because he's a proven genius, and he's a man of a certain age that it's easy to trust. And you respect his opinion, and he's wise, and he's deeply intelligent. And because he's trusting you to make the most of your character, you really feel that a great responsibility has not only been put onto you, but that it's a responsibility that you can handle. It's a great way to work.
And when the cast and crew were shooting in the streets of London, Rhys Meyers says it came as no surprise as to who had the biggest legion of fans.
It became a game in London, spot Woody Allen, because he was shooting there. And you know, all of these tourists from all over the world, from across the street, would recognize Woody Allen, and they'd barrel straight past me, straight past Scarlett Johansson, straight to Woody Allen. Woody was who they wanted to see. And, you know, he's got that extraordinary presence that, you know, he doesn't have to do anything but be himself, and he's magnetic, and he attracts people to him.